It's time for another carrier product update. Tune in as we talk directly to the carriers about their new plans, any new network options they have, or which plan designs offer the most savings, and learn about the tools and resources they offer to help you generate more business. Visit our website to learn about all of the carriers we quote in our Carrier Product Update series. I'm Jason Powers, and I am joined here by Randy Wenner from Allied National Benefits Consultants. What I was trying to say, but Randy, it's been a long day. Randy, I've known you I think my entire career.
That's right.
So I didn't botch the name, but I botched
You're
everything else. Randy Wenner, Benefits Consultant with Allied National, and I'm just pleased to have you here. First timer on our Carrier Product Update series. This is a special one. This is our Q4 Kickoff Summit.
Wonderful.
And it wouldn't be a complete presentation without Allied National represented. So I thank you for joining us.
Appreciate that. It is good to be here, and thank you for watching. And if you're watching the recording of this, I hope it's a great benefit to you as well. We certainly want to share some great ideas with you here today. So thank you.
You are a pillar of the insurance community, Randy. I know you are a busy guy, so we'll get right into it with Allied National. There's been a lot of exciting things since the last time I think we had Allied represented on the show. And I think the transition on the 90-degree side is complete. So I'll let you kind of take it away and lead us down the path.
Super appreciate that, Jason. You know, really, Allied National, I always like to introduce as being a company that's been in business for a long time, over 50 years altogether. Actually, we're working on our 52nd year here going forward as well. A lot of good things with Allied National, always been in the small group health marketplace space here. And we do have some individual plans, which I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about that a little bit as well too. But our bread and butter is always geared towards the small group provider here that we are working to be at all times. So small group to medium-sized groups is where we really have a specialty. And with that, Jason, we have got some new plans. I'm going to ask Bo to go ahead and advance the next slide. It looks like he's got that up. So, and I think as always, Jason, something to think about us and for your agents that are watching this too is we've got something for group health, small group to medium-sized group health for all types of budgets. So if you've got a business that really cannot afford major medical plans, we've got some options that you can take a look at that could be of a great help in that market space as well. And if you've got someone who's really looking for it as well-to-do or rich, a benefit plan, we've got some options there. You can really make the group product really a terrific plan. So something for all sizes of groups here. And our first one that we're going to talk about is a new plan with us, which is we call our Freedom Hybrid. It seems like hybrid is becoming a popular word. If you look at a new car, there's a hybrid car. If you look at the grocery store, there's a hybrid food item even, and hybrid appliances. But Allied has certainly adopted the word hybrid here as well for a small group health, small to medium-sized group health product called the Freedom Hybrid. First of all, the word freedom, whenever you see that gives you the idea that there's no network associated with this plan. So you have the true freedom to go to any provider that you want to go to. It does utilize reference-based pricing, which really close to about 80% of all of our groups utilize a reference-based pricing model. And we've just had a good success with this over the years. In fact, I think we were one of the early emergers available and offering a reference-based pricing model. We've had some type of aberration of it over the years too, but we just really think there's a good future opportunity in offering this type of a concept. And I think we were the first ones or among the early ones that also offered a guarantee for no balance billing. So although we can't stop a provider from actually sending a balance bill, that if the member would send us to our client service department the actual copy of the balance bill, we'll guarantee to protect that member so they will not have to pay anything additional out of pocket on that. So that's our guarantee, and that always seems to really do real well with this product. But the Freedom Hybrid plan, it kind of has the best of both worlds into it. So what we're talking about here is that we still have reference-based pricing, but for your doctors and practitioners and such, we're going to have what we call a physicians-only network. And so what this does is the idea is to eliminate the occasional friction point that a member has when they go into an office visit and the office says, well, we need a PPO. And so it doesn't happen that much, but it can happen. And sometimes an agent might be thinking about that. Well, what could we do to offset that? Well, this is the product to help with that. So you have a choice of 2 PPO physician-only networks. You can choose. One is called PHCS and the other one is called Prime PPO. So you can go to our website, just simply enter PPO networks, and you can look up and you can see the instructions on how to see the physicians-only network and what doctors are going to be in that network. Now the good news, Jason, is that sometimes when you talk about networks, you sometimes think, well, gosh, is there a penalty or fee if I don't see a doctor in the network? So that's the good news with the Freedom Hybrid plan, is you can see really any provider you want to see. It helps if you see one that's in the network, obviously, but if they're not there, then we're still going to utilize reference-based pricing. So that'll still be a nice fallback. So even if they're not in the network, the member is still assured they can see whoever they want to see. And if they're not in that network, then they have that choice to utilize the reference-based pricing as well. So always with our plans, whether it's a Freedom Hybrid plan or any of our Funding Advantage major medical plans, as this falls under our major medical plan, these are what we call 12-21 plans, so 12 months for a plan year plus a 9-month period for the run-out period. And then after the run-out period is when we pay 100% of all the dollars that are left in the claims fund. That's really a nice piece that we've always had a signature with our plans for many years now. We've been doing this since the Affordable Care Act first came out, so close to 12 years now we've done this. So to be able to have no strings attached when it's time to get those that refund back after the following run-out period is over with, that money is forwarded back in the form of a check back to the employer, and the employer can then use that if they've renewed with us, which we hope they would. They can use that to buy down future monthly premiums, or they can also use the money to buy additional benefits if they want. And if they've not stayed with Allied, then they can use it. As long as it goes back towards the welfare of the employees, that becomes really a good feature.
Sure.
So this Freedom Hybrid plan is a new product here for us, just offered in the last year, and already getting, I think, really great traction with this, good attention. A lot of the agents like the idea of the physicians-only network and find the discounts are very lucrative along the way. So if you're thinking about, as an agent watching this, that you want to give us an opportunity for a quote, Jason, his team can help us out, help you out with the quotes there. So.
Yeah, and as a general agent for Allied National, I'll say when we saw this option show up on the quoting system and started running those proposals, what we noticed was by adding, typically when you add a PPO, when you're already RVP, moving to something with a PPO can be a pretty drastic change in rate. And when with Allied's product and the Freedom Hybrid, when we add that PPO component to the physicians,
right.
We didn't see a giant jump in premium.
Right.
But what you end up with, you mentioned balance bills, and I know Allied's going to protect the member, but the protection isn't the only issue in RVP. We all know that really it's the noise, right?
Yes,
It's the feeling that what am I going to have a problem going
Right.
to a doctor, and the doctor's office visits aren't. That's not where we're focused on trying to control costs. It's really facility claims. So RVP does a great job of managing the facility claims. The PPO on the physicians eliminates the noise.
Yes, it really does. That's very true. Makes it, and should put the agent at ease a little bit more so as well
It
too,
does.
because you're right, the noise is rattling and they can.
And then the pricing I think helps because it's still competitively priced. You still have an opportunity, I think, to go in and tell the story of RVP, but
Sure.
but really know that the only things that you're going to have to deal with on, if there is a balance bill, is really going to be on the facility claims, and those are going to be so few and far between.
Correct.
So you really eliminate a lot of that static, a lot of that noise, and
We also have a team, Jason, that the member can reach out to on that balance bill too, to where they can get quick access to talking to someone right away about getting it resolved and fixed. So the idea, of course, is to have the member to contact our Elite Client Services team, and that's provided information when they sign up for the plan as well, to get that expertise to help them.
And I'll tell you, I've been in that room when she got a call and
Right.
she said,
Clear
I'll
those
be right
spaces.
with you. I need to take this call because it's a member that needs
That's correct.
needs answers. So, and it really is that kind of touch.
Good deal. Well, I appreciate that, and really, just to kind of build a little bit, and we'll close on this Freedom Hybrid product here, a reminder that really always Allied does all of our underwriting, Jason, with the intent of driving the highest degree of likelihood to get a refund back. So we underwrite with the purpose and the central focus that when we offer those final rates to the employer group, they have a great opportunity of getting a refund. And right now, close to 40 to 50% of all of our groups get a refund. And we take great pride in that, and we have agents that will take the refund check. I used to be in the life insurance business, and nothing greater when you'd have, unfortunately, a claim, obviously, in the life business, but you deliver that check to the family. It was always a big deal. Same thing here. There's an opportunity. We have agents that will take that check out to the employer and really take the time to show them, hey, this is why this is a great feature with Allied. You're getting 100% of your dollars back as well. So another piece that's on our screen here that we'll talk about just real briefly, I'm going to have you go back, Bill, if you can, to the other piece. Just didn't get a chance to talk about the individual advantage. So, Jason, you may not be quite up to speed on this, but this is a little teaser here for just a moment. But we are going to reach out and also be a little more stronger in the individual marketplace. Just a teaser. I can't really give you all the insides and outs, but we're going to start offering individual plans, health products that are going to be for members before they turn Medicare as well as after they're in Medicare as well. And we're probably a couple months still away from being able to offer this, but I kind of want you to hang on to your bootstraps because it's going to be a big announcement here pretty soon. And we're really looking forward to a full suite of health products on an individual basis that will be available. It'll be directly with Allied as well. So we're enthusiastic about that, and wanted to plant that seed with our agents as well. They can see this and understand, wow, we're also going to have a suite of individual plans coming out as well too. So
That's great news.
all right, so Bo, you can move on to the next piece there. So always like to talk about the cost saver. And I know, Jason, you're familiar with that. We've helped you with a number of agents with the cost saver product. In fact, you were one of the early emergers to get us interested in looking at this idea altogether. We've had the cost saver, a limited benefit plan for again, small to medium-sized groups. I don't know if I mentioned, but we can go down 2 lives, by the way. 2 to about 100 lives is where we can be really good for you here. But about a dozen years ago, Jason, we had a lot of agents who were coming to us and stating, we need some pricing that's going to be half the price of what a full major medical plan is going to be, or we're going to lose
Just
the
wait
case.
the one.
That's right.
Cut the price in half.
Yeah, it's a slash the price. That's exactly right. And so we rolled out this cost saver when we were offering it in the fully insured days, and now as a level funded product, the cost saver, it does just that. It cuts the pricing down about 50% of what a full major medical plan. It's got a lot of neat things for being a limited benefit plan. Right off the bat, it's going to have unlimited, believe it or not, the word unlimited is in a limited benefit plan, where we're offering unlimited benefits on anything that's outpatient and physician benefit oriented. So you'll have a copay for that, a very small deductible, by the way, that you meet up front, only $250. It's 100% co-insurance. It also has $2,500 of out of pocket on top of that, and then that's per member per person.
I'm gonna just make sure that they heard that.
Go ahead.
$250 deductible.
Yeah, really small.
Half the price
Yeah.
of a normal plan.
Right.
And outpatient services are unlimited,
That's right.
but it's still a limited benefit.
That's still a limited benefit.
And I know the limits come on the inpatient side.
Yes.
And the pricier side,
Right.
again, the facility claims.
Right.
But the outpatient stuff is all done in a PPO setting,
That's correct.
right?
You have 2
And-
choices of
yeah.
PPOs. You've got either PHCS or you've also got First Health, which are 2 nationwide PPO networks to choose from. Some states are going to be strong with one or the other, but they're very good PPO networks. And I want to add to that as well, Jason, that they're networks that are in tune, that the members utilizing their networks are on a limited benefit plan. So they really want to maximize the discounts for that member that's utilizing the cost saver here, because they know it's a limited plan. How can they maximize the discount? So the agreements they have for the pricing they will offer through the discounts will be tremendous on the cost saver. And we've had a lot of great compliments on this cost saver product, and especially just this past year, as you see on your screen, we're talking about the cost saver bronze minimum value plan. So what we've done, Jason, is we've taken our upper tier level. There's 3 tiers of the cost saver. Plan 1 is going to be your lowest economic plan that meets minimum essential coverage, and then you've got plan 2, still just a little step up. The plan 1 still very economical, and the plan 3 is economical, but we've added a few features to make it our bronze plan. Now, mind you, as a limited benefit plan, all 3 of these options I just talked about, including what we're about to talk about, the bronze plan, has no medical underwriting.
No medical underwriting.
No
So
medical underwriting.
guaranteed
That's
to
right.
issue.
That's right. That's right. You still have to meet participation, obviously, here. So, but no one's going to look at the health issues. And one step further than that, to make it easier for the agents that are listening and watching this as well, is they don't have to fill out applications either. It's a spreadsheet enrollment. that you
Yeah, it's
utilize.
just
So,
census.
yeah,
It's just census.
it really
So
is.
it's-
Yeah.
For those that need it repeated,
Yeah.
$250 deductible,
Right.
half the cost.
Right.
Outpatient is unlimited.
Right.
It meets bronze minimum value requirements.
On the plan 3, that's correct.
It's
Yeah.
census enrollment,
That's right.
guaranteed to issue, no underwriting.
Yeah, no medical underwriting. You just have to still meet participation, obviously, so that's the other part to it. But
Sure.
yeah, and contribution, which is only a minimum 25% that the
Yeah.
carrier requires, but we always think some secret sauce is the higher the participation contribution, the better it's.
This
gonna
is what chapter 9 of Cost Saver now.
Yes.
It's been been around a long time.
It has been.
It's
Has
looked
been.
a little different in the past, but
That's right.
this one's really exciting.
be. Yeah, especially to have this bronze plan that meets both minimum essential coverage and MVP minimum value as well. That's really makes it tremendous, and so it's a great plan to be looking at, especially if you've got Jason, maybe you've got a group that's got a class of low wage earners that maybe they're already on another full major medical plan for the management, but maybe the low class workers have been left behind. This could be offered as a class product, and right away you solve the group's problem that they're an ALE, an applicable large employer. If they need somebody that's going to have both sides to it as a bronze plan, this can be great for that. It can be great for a small group that just needs to have employees covered and wants to do it as a class setting, or the whole group can be offered the plan as well. So it's a great plan. It's fun to present it, and it's a fresh idea.
Yeah,
When you
that's
think
just it.
about it, that an employer says, "Hey, this is something different. I've never seen this." You know, I know a lot of agents that are looking for fresh ideas and concepts, and I think this cost saver can be part of that fresh idea. Just like the Freedom Hybrid becomes a new idea as well too, so is the cost saver as well too.
Yeah.
So keep in mind a couple of things that I'll just mention, Jason, on the cost saver. It does come with unlimited access to telehealth. It's through Cura MD, and so that's a great free telehealth. So that low wage earner especially that goes on this cost saver, any one of the cost saver plans, to have free access to the telehealth. I don't know if you've ever used telehealth
I
before
love
or
it.
not. I do
I
too.
got, with
I'm
the
a
4
love
kids,
fan.
Randy, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say
use it all the time. I got a
That's
hypo. Oh wait, this is recorded. I got hypochondriac. Of course I use telehealth all the time.
Yeah, I know. I tried it one late at night, 10 o'clock. I had like a cut or something on my arm. I forget what it was now, but the doctor, I was on the phone right away. The doctor came right on within a minute or two. He was out of Wichita, Kansas, and so he said, take your camera and show me a picture of what's on your arm, and I did. He was able to look at it quickly and said, I could prescribe something right now for you, and which he did, and you could either go to the pharmacy. It looks like there's one open still tonight, where it was like after 10 o'clock at night. Go find some help. But it was just so comforting, and it was so helpful, and it just put me at ease, because I was going to probably lie in bed worried about this little thing. If I got this infected, what have I done here? Knowing me, I'm a blonde guy. What can happen to me? Plenty can happen to me sometimes. So it's just really nice to be able to use telehealth, and this cost saver, as well as our full major medical plans, has that as well too. And then to make it a bronze plan, one last point is it comes with a $15 copay for generic medications as well, prescriptions, and then it's 50% co-insurance for your preferred brand drugs. So that's what makes it, again, the MVP as well, to have those features on there. So let's be sure and have you take a look at that. The default compensation is 12% comp, so if you feel like you need to add a little more to that, they can do that as well, or you take some away as well if they need to do that as well too. That's really attractive.
Definitely.
All right, so another product that we're going to talk about, really just valuable products as well. We talked about POP plans, and you've actually spoken about this a little bit in the past on some of your meetings of NAHU events that you've been at too. I really wanted to talk about this just real briefly because especially if you have agents that are writing new groups and would like to really service an employer very well, there's a lot of employers that don't understand that they're paying taxes, payroll taxes are coming out when you're having benefits paid as well. Why not save some money for the employer with payroll dollars there by taking out a premium only plan? So all of our plans, the cost saver and anything that we're doing at the Funding Advantage, can be a premium only plan. And Allied, although does not administrate that part of it, but what we will do is set up the tax documentation for that employer to have something in writing that allows them to implement and to administrate their own pre-tax dollars being used to pay for benefits. You know, really, it's a win-win. As you can see here, we have no cost for it. It's just a free feature when you already have Allied plans in place. But you know, it's one idea to help an agent who's looking for ways to really impress, if I can use that word, impress their client, that they're looking at all areas to be not only a full benefits provider, but to be that healthcare advisor, to advise them on how best to save money and to benefit with that. And sometimes the POP, the POP, gets overlooked. And so I just wanted to mention that to you. I think it's a great benefit, and all you gotta do is request it. We'll have the employer fill out a simple application for it. We'll provide all the documentation so they can make that happen. It's a win-win for your client. Then also, we also have pivot plans. I know you've got some agents that are working on the individual short-term medical plans. Sure. And it's a growing business right now with that. And Allied also, on the side of the level funded products that we have for group, we're the largest administrator in the United States administrating short-term medical plans. And so Pivot is a great marketing partner with us. We have our own short-term medical that's under the Pivot name. Pivot is a large marketing organization. They're quite well known. They own the website for healthcare.com. So they've got the website for that as well. But they're very instrumental in offering individual products as well. And if your agents are looking for another revenue stream that you can add to your block of business, short-term medical can be a great opportunity for that as well. We can set you up with a link on that. We have some agents that I've spoken to, Jason, that really find it to be advantageous to be looking at short-term medical plans and fixed annuity plans. So I'll just give my little 2-second plug on that.
Yeah.
Then our next piece here, on your next piece is what's new. So this I know, Jason, you really will like, because you really had a part in some of this as well too, with what we call the no-call rule. So the no-call rule is for groups, whether they're over 20 or under 20. Used to be we would make a phone call to a employee if we saw a health issue that an underwriter had a concern about, and they wanted to clarify that issue, understand it better. We'd make a phone interview. It was maybe a minute to 2 minutes in length, but sometimes it could be a little bit of a hassle, so to speak, first to get a hold of the member and then to have them answer questions. So I thought you would appreciate this new rule that we've changed, because you've had some feedback over the time with us as well. So we're no longer going to call an employee to verify health issues. That's really a big deal for us not to do that. We'll make that makes this easier. And I like what Liz Wilson, who's in the room here today with us, was stating that we're trying to tighten up our underwriting to make it more streamlined, easier, user-friendly, if I can use that word as well. And I think this is a positive point in the right direction to take away this effort of having calls being made to employees. So that's off the table. We'll still make, obviously, an employer call just to verify we've got the right number of people in the group, to make sure we've crossed our T's and dotted our I's on that. But we've taken the calls out to call the client and their members directly. So, and then we've got this also, Jason, you've had some feedback on this for the 20 plus groups. We like to call it simplified underwriting. So here's what we're doing. We're utilizing an online, in fact, I'll just backtrack just a moment. With this feedback, by the way, we wanted to develop a way for these larger size groups to be able to offer quotes and firm rates faster. And this gives us that opportunity to offer it faster. And so what we're doing is we have a census, a specific census form that allows the agent and the employer to fill out, so we get it fully completed. And what we're going to do is we're going to underwrite off of known, in fact, we're going to use a model that's going to utilize known prescription history and known hospitalization history as well. And we're going to give a firm rate to you based on the census that you've given us. And once you have that firm rate, you take that out to the employer group, and if that employer likes what they're seeing, and we hope they do, then you take that back to us, and then we begin the process of being able to work at the group, and we'll have the employee still fill out a very short, simplified underwriting questionnaire. Basically, quick 5 or 6 yes or no questions. As long as they answer no to the questions, the group has the plan, and then we go ahead and plan on completing the employer statement form, and we will activate the group. So it's a really great way to go. We're not going to look at any type of tax and wage statements as we've done in the past for this size group. The goal is to make this easy and
Sure.
make it simplified, and to help the agent feel good about what they're doing in the process, so they have something quick in their hands that gives them a firm rate, and they're good to go to market that to their client too. Would you agree? Do you like that?
I would. I want to tell you, these are two very important changes in Allied's underwriting
Yeah.
mechanism that have facilitated our success
Yes.
with Allied over the last year. And I'll tell you, we love doing apps. I will say that we use FormFire. We provide FormFire to our agents as just an additional value to
Right.
working with us as a general agency. But not everybody likes to do apps.
Sure.
And I think the challenge, and I never had a problem with calls. Coming from my background, underwriting was key, right?
Right.
You had phone calls were part of it. I think what's happened in the evolution of underwriting in small group over the years is we're seeing more and more pre-screen
Sure.
requests.
Yeah.
Here at Legacy, we have two paths: preliminary quote, where we just get you the rates and
Right.
you tell us if it looks good, and then you go down the underwritten
Yeah.
path, or you go right to the underwritten path. You just don't get the quarterly wage and the prior carrier
Right,
bill
right,
and
right.
the binder check and the
Yeah.
employer app. You just get applications.
That's right.
Individual applications.
Sure.
And so I think what the challenge with phone calls is you've got agents who are doing pre-screens and underwriting with all these different carriers, and then
Yeah.
the phone calls kind of
Sure.
one path or two paths where they're asking questions. But I do appreciate that. And then the second thing I'll say is on the simplified underwriting, an agent also has the ability to take that 5-question, what I call the case killers, right?
Right,
The
yes.
5 questions, get those up front.
Yes. Very true.
If
you're
you
on
want,
the right track.
get those up
Sure.
front. Get
Yeah.
those questions answered up front.
Yeah.
So the idea that as a consultant you can do some field underwriting
Right.
wouldn't
Very
be
true.
wouldn't be a bad idea,
No.
especially when you're talking 20 to 25 life case.
Sure.
That's not too much to ask to get those 5 questions answered, and just be sure that you're not stepping on a landmine later.
Very true.
But while you're doing that simplified underwriting with census, remind me what all we need. See if Andrea and Kathy were in here, they tell me exactly what we need. They know what
Yes,
we need.
right.
So it's census.
Right.
You need current plan of benefits and rates.
Right, and the requested plan design that you'd like to see on that as well. So just to start it out, to again make it easy, it's the census form that needs to be completed, and then the type of plan that you're basically looking for, plan design. And then once we get that census fully completed, then we're going to go ahead and work with that and do the underwriting at that site, and really provide you with a rate within a matter of a few days, so you can take that and go out to your clients. So again, there's even the competitors talking about how can we speed up this process to help your agents out. That's what we're trying to do here. So very, very attractive. So
Yeah, those are great changes.
Yeah, thank you for saying that.
For Q4, I think it's how quickly can we get to a final rate that agents can go and install and groups can get moving on. Because getting tripped up in underwriting can be terrible
Yes.
in June, let alone October.
Yes,
November.
you're right.
So-
We want to make it easy as possible.
I love it. I love it. Those are all positive changes.
So our last piece here, Jason, is we talked about just some summary here of why Allied National. Again, I think that it's always good to be reminded that I mentioned earlier that we try to have plans for group here to fit as many budgets as possible that an employer has. So if it's a real small budget that an employer has, we've got the cost here. We even have one product less than that, just a MEC only product as well that can be sold. It's a preventative only plan. Again, you've got some groups that are on that as well with us there too. That's just $42 a month per member per head. Very attractive plan, especially for an applicable large employer that's really trying to find a way to reduce cost, and they're also trying to prevent the employer from having to meet a penalty. So that's really nice for that as well too. But very innovative plan designs as well. Customizable options. Again, I mentioned earlier, you can do class settings here as well too. That's really nice to have that feature to do that. Whether you've got a low income class here that needs a cost saver, or maybe needs a different level of the major medical plan too. We can do some things there as well too. Healthy underwriting program. I will tell you, Jason, we work like the Dickens to be able to, sorry, my mother's commentary there. She always would say the word Dickens. I got that from my mother there, so blame it on her for a moment there. But we do work hard to make sure that when we do underwriting, that we do it correctly. And we do it in a way so that you're not going to get a shock and awe renewal the following year. So obviously there's always the surprise, terrible, horrible claims that I'm sure can drive some behavior to where all of a sudden there can be some cost. But we underwrite in a way that we want to avoid having that type of a scenario for your agency.
Sure.
So that's a big thing with us as well. We have a large customer service team. I will tell you, we've worked hard at hiring additional staff to help us out with this as well. We've even got a tier level in our client services team. We call our elite team that works on this balanced billing scenario. So we're there to offer assistance right away. And we've seen that demonstrated with some of your agents and your groups as well here over the last few years. We've offered that as well too. So the goal is, when we say enhanced member experience, to work at that. And a big deal with us, as always, is with our refund dollars amount. 100% of our refund is offered back to the employer. And if an employer's been on a competitor plan that has these strings attached to what you got to do to get a refund, and all of a sudden realizes, you mean I'm not going to get all the dollars that are left in that claims fund, once they see that, Allied's got 100% of these dollars available to be refunded back, they like that. They like that feature. They like that they get a check, and they like that they can use that to buy down future payments. In fact, it really corresponds with the beginning of the third plan year when you think about it, because it's a 12-month plan year, plus the 9 months for the run-out period. You pay all the claims that were incurred in the 9 months. So when that check is being issued, that group is heading into that third year, so they can use that as an added advantage to retain the group. And I'm doing a lot of renewals, so we appreciate the retention of groups that renew this year after year.
You sure do.
So does that kind of help you out, Jason?
It does. It
All right.
does. This is all great news. I think we very likely have agents who have either tried quoting Allied in the past and there was something that just wasn't a fit for them
Sure.
or their clients, and you really are innovative as a company, and the best part about it for me in Kansas City is you're local right here, right? I can drive to your office.
Very true. Very true.
And have a meeting with
That's
you
right.
and your team. So we appreciate the partnership with Allied. I can't thank you enough for joining us today.
It's been
Any final thoughts before agents head out into the craziness that is Q4? You've been at it a long time, just like me.
Well, I tell you, a feature that we don't have up on the PowerPoint presentation to keep in mind, especially with renewals as well with Allied, is we have a feature. I know Tim Schraub talked about it in your previous piece for Allied. Is called our Health Choices option. That can be added to our major medical plans or funding advantage plans, and also it can be added to our freedom plans as well too. So Health Choices is a type of a wellness benefit that really allows the employees to not just voluntarily participate, but it is obligatory on them to participate. And what we're doing is we're asking the employee to telephone us with information about health conditions that's on a flyer that they see clearly when they first get all the fulfillment materials from Allied. And when they call us, we're going to give them a free second opinion about their health issue, whether it's a diabetic issue, mental health, or maybe they need an image scan of some sort, a tier 4 specialty drug, what have you. We're going to offer a free, no obligation second opinion. And if they take advantage of our second opinion, we're going to offer some lower out-of-pocket cost. We'll waive some of the office visit costs. If it's a diabetic issue, if they take advantage of our second opinion, we'll waive the cost for testing supplies. So there's some financial rewards for taking advantage of that, and instantly, just for adding the Health Choices feature onto your major medical plan with Allied, it offers a 6.5% instant discount. So that's instant right there to provide savings, additional 6.5% savings to the group by taking that on. So it's,
Wow.
it's a great feature that you can add on. We just didn't mention the PowerPoint, but I wanted to allude to it. And I know we're recommending it on renewals as
Oh,
well.
for
It's a
sure.
great way
Why
to
not?
reduce costs
Why
as well
not?
too.
It gives
So,
you an opportunity to be more, to help with more care navigation.
That's right.
And provide more, more feedback to
Yes,
members.
that's
So,
right.
and agents, in this day and age, agents are getting more and more obligations and more work to do. And so for a TPA to say, hey,
Yeah.
we'll do more for you and lower your rate if you just let us do this one.
That's right. And it's really been a win-win for us, so I appreciate that.
That's
So I wanted to
great.
mention it. So thanks for your courtesy today, and thanks for allowing Allied to be a partner with you. Thanks for all that you do as well, Jason. We think a lot of your team here. It's great staff that you have here, and it's nice to take some time on a Tuesday afternoon here where some of this will be watched later on.
You think highly of us because you haven't seen our wilds.
all right, very good.
All right, well, that's it for us. That's it for Allied. Thank you, brokers. Have a prosperous fourth quarter. And be sure to take a look at Allied. If you haven't taken a look at Allied quotes in the past, be sure that you're taking a look at those quotes and really paying attention to the type of designs that we're putting in to those proposals and the plan options that we're quoting. And if you've got questions, reach out to our team. We'll help you get it sold. That's it. Go out, sell lots in Q4, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching this edition of our Carrier Product Update Series. Visit our website to watch other episodes.